let's get moving, I guess. One of the funny things, this is something that applies to both the video games and to when I play a longer, the video games that are really, really immersive, of that nature with a big story. But also when I play a longer board game, I get really reluctant to end. So like, I inched up to the area where I'm going to find the final battle, and it's not so much that I don't want to end it, I don't think. It's just, I'm like, I don't know. It looks like so much trouble to do. I don't know, it's a weird sort of situation. So anyway, let's take a look at what our goals are and whether we can meet them. Irma, Common Room, Book of Sonian Poetry. I can meet that one. Irma, Great Dining Room, Cats. I don't think there are any cats on the board. And this is where the game gets kind of tricky, in an annoying sort of way. Is you have to remember all the little pieces that are out there and what's where, what you can get, what you can possibly get before you start calculating, can I get that where I want it? So I am going to aim for this school romance. Get Irma to the professor's common room. Oh, that's the professor's common room. Well, that actually makes sense next to the library. Not so much next to the kitchen. Of course, the school is way far away. With the Book of Poetry. Well, a lot of that is together. So what I want to do is I want to grab me Irma, and let's take a look at this. The dealer takes the first turn. When it's your turn, you can perform as many actions as you wish on the action cards in your hand. Now remember, you only draw 3, and you probably don't want to make yourself a bunny. But on the other hand, there are things you need to do, Okay, so let's see what I got. Plot cards in my hand. I don't really need that, but that's useful. Remove influence from a controlled character. It's got an influence. It's got a. I gotta remember. Yeah, it's got an influence and some movement. That's possible. Move one character from one marble board square to any other marble board square. Well, that's interesting. But I can't get where I want to go by doing that. It could speed me along, but not as much as I'd like. And that's an influence. I'll hold on to that. Remove influence from any character. This has 2 movement, no influence. Okay. Dirty Dealing. Stop a player placing influence tokens on a character. Gives me 3 movement. Alright, what would I like to do? I'm going to spend the double cross to put something over here on Irma. I'm allowed 7 cards total. 4, 5, 6. So I had better spend more cards. I'm going to spend this 2 movement to get her heading in my direction. I'll pick up the lantern. Why not? Okay, so now I'm at 3, 4, 5. I'd still be getting 3 cards, so I want to do one more. I can do Dirty Dealing. Move 1, 2, 3 to the library. Okay, that has me down to enough cards. And I have no interrupt left. I'll draw 3 more cards, take a quick look at them. What's that? Oh. Okay, so that is kind of neat. You're able to power somebody who's not under your control to move a distance. I have an influence card. Move one free character or one you control to any adjacent board. Okay, so you can slip through things. Okay. And I'll keep that here. Now we go to the second player. And again, there's kind of a, geez, what is there to this story, that the game provides beyond the mechanisms of the card play? And that's going to be really hard to describe, I mean, I would have to try to remember what plots are being fired and everything like that. And that's why a game like this, I kind of wonder, is it worth playing it out, for you guys? And I don't know the answer to that. I honestly don't. But the only thing that I can see that I can do is to show the whole game. Okay, Lady Groan, the pavilions, and the letter. I don't have the letter, if I recall correctly. Who knows? Nanny Slag, the schoolroom, those are both there, and the hot water bottle. This seems like a better thing to go for. And you can read the whole thing. The one thing that stands in the way of your seduction of Lady Fuchsia is Nanny Slag. Suggests to her that it's cold in the schoolroom and that she'd better take Lord Titus a hot water bottle as quickly as she can. This will give you time with Lady Fuchsia. Unfortunately, this doesn't represent, the outcomes of these don't represent anything except victory points. So you don't gain partial control over Lady Fuchsia or something like that from completing that mission. All you get is your victory points, and you may have no ability to influence her movement at all. And that's kind of disturbing to me. So I gotta get the hot water bottle to the schoolroom. Here she is. The schoolroom's not far away. And the hot water bottle is not terribly close. Someone else could bring it towards her. Unblock a location. I haven't talked about this, but the rituals can create this block. When a ritual is done, it can make an area impassable. And, well, double cross, remove all influence token from any control character. Any lost influence tokens go back to the player's pool. This gives me one influence. I could do that on the one there. Unblock another location. Unblock another location. Move one character, and I shuffled. Move one character you control from one stone board square to any other stone board square. Slag is on a stone board square, but that wouldn't be any better. Well, actually, this is an influence card. So since I have so many of these, and I don't think it's necessary to put 2 influence right now, I'm going to place this on Slag because she's the person I want to move. There she goes. And then I'm going to move her. I'll move her 2. And I have one more movement, or one more card I can play. This is stone. It's next to the schoolroom. That doesn't seem like a bad choice. So what I'm going to do is spend the double cross to do this. Grabbing that. I'm not going to make that other move, am I? Somebody could move Slag, and that would be annoying to me. So I'm going to play yet another card for this Chaotic Paths. Move a character you control from one stone to any other stone square. And get her down there. I could be tricky here and drop the hot water bottle and pick up the axe or something like that. I don't think that's terribly necessary. I am going to draw 2 purple cards, which I'll look at. and 1 plot card. Which is kind of a sign, you do that, you're kind of saying, hey, maybe you got to worry about this person. They're drawing plot cards. It looks like I'm going to complete a plot. And that would be something you probably don't want to do, actually. Somebody may want to hurt them. But remember, if you spend your own actions wiping somebody else out, wiping somebody else's opportunities out to some extent, you're probably not hurting them that much, and you are expending your own efforts. You're probably hurting them to the degree that you're expending your own efforts. Okay. So let's look at another one. Barkentine, bright carvings with a bright carving. And this is why you don't have the bright carvings in the bright carving room to begin with. Dire Feud, Flay, Hollow Halls, Antique Sword. I think actually both of these are in play, aren't they? No, it's the axe, right? The ceremonial axe. I don't think I see... Oh, there's the Antique Sword. Okay. So Flay, Hollow Halls, Antique Sword. Flay is not on the board. So we have to find him to bring him into play. And Barkentine, Hollow Bright Carvings with the bright carving. I can work on that. That doesn't look hard to do. Except I have... Oh my god, I have a pile of garbage in my hand. Oh. One uncontrolled character gains 3 movement. Huh. Well, I'll play that. Barkentine seducing someone. Excellent. I don't know if I can pick something up. Oh, I haven't been... Shit. I've been picking things up for free. Fuck. We'll just leave that alone. Alright, I am going to play a ritual. We got kind of a problem here. We roll a die. And we see what these do, and I have no idea, really. So we get 11. 30-siders are annoying. This is the Ritual of the Iron Cupboard. The biannual ritual of opening the iron cupboard in the armory with the traditional dagger which Sour Dust had brought for the occasion, of scratching the metal back of the cupboard another half moon. Move 1 noble character of your choice to the armory. If this tile is not yet in play, find it in the tile deck and put it in play. Put an artifact on that tile and turn it over. Okay, so this is interesting. Let's see if this is all one thing. So this is the way they write these fucking things. So if this tile is not in play, you find it in the castle deck, place it in play, place an artifact token on the tile. That's something you normally would do when you're placing a new tile. Let's leave that alone for a little bit. Following the instructions on the setup. Afterwards, shuffle the remaining castle tiles. My feeling is everything from the if onward is only if it's not in play. Notably, you wouldn't be finding it. And this is important. Well, who's noble? Who's noble and wants to be in the armory? Nobody's moved a noble. I'll drop Fuchsia in the armory. This did not create a block, so I am going to play yet another ritual unless there's a limit that I can only play 1 per turn, which there is not. Getting these out of my hand is only a good thing. That brings me to 17. And you can see this is going to get pretty boring pretty soon. The choosing of the bright carvings, the day of the bright carving, queried the doctor, shall I place it as usual? All players get an action card. Yeah. Okay. I have to look for interrupts, so hold on. I drew another damn ritual. I'm at 5, so I want to play another ritual. And that brings me to 13. Ceremonial walk of the battlements. Move one servant to the angel's buttress. Okay, that's on the board. If this tile is not in play, find it in the castle tile deck and place it into play. Place an artifact token on that tile and turn it over. Yeah. Okay, so here's something interesting. A couple of servants have been moved. And this player gets to choose to do something to a servant. So far, Prune Squalor, Irma Prune Squalor, and Nanny Slag have been moved. Either one could go to the angel's buttresses. I'm going to try to move Prune Squalor. Now, what happens here is there's this ignore the effects of one ritual. If this is the person who wants Prune Squalor, it is, she is going to play dead in order to avoid being involved in it. Okay. I still have a ritual left. It might behoove me to hold on to it, though. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to get Barkentine with the bright carvings to the Hall of Bright Carvings. Unless I have a 2 movement, which I do. I don't necessarily want to do this, but let's score our card. 1, 2. So I announced that I'm doing this one, and I get 3 victory points for that, and jump to the lead. I can't. Never mind. The reason I can't, I don't control Barkentine. I just moved him. So, do that. Yeah, and as is not surprising, the rating for this game isn't very high. I can see it being fun, you know, in the sense... There's not a lot you're going to be doing in it, you know, but whatever. Okay, let's take a look at player green. Swelter, Hall of Cobwebs with the Wicked Cleaver. That sounds like a pile of stuff I don't have. The Hall of Cobwebs might be on here. Oh, he's in it. Wow. I don't have the cleaver. Screw it, man. Swelter Stone Lanes with the Ravens. I don't have that. Okay. How do I score? Do I have to control the character? Yeah, I don't think so. Doesn't seem... It says when you're able to move, which I'm obviously not. But yeah, let's do this. We'll play the Vengeance plot, and we get a victory point for that. And now we're in the lead. Okay, but what about this other one? It's also Swelter, going to the Stone Lanes with the Ravens. Well, this is where you get in trouble. Is I don't have a plot to fulfill. So I'm going to have to go searching or else drawing new plots. Now, we'll definitely play our ritual first. Gets me 14 in the book. Ritual announcement of the birth of an heir to the master of kitchens. Move one servant to the great kitchen. Well, we have a kitchen. We don't have a great kitchen. I don't think there is a great kitchen. Maybe this will tell me. I don't believe there is. So, we'll say that's to the kitchen. They were not very careful even. If this tile is not in play, go find it. Okay, so a servant goes to the great kitchen. Well, this player is not interested in moving slag, so... or is not interested in slag herself. So I want to move slag to the great kitchen. Well, this was the player in charge of slag? Yeah. Do I have anything to prevent that? Nope. So I just got screwed by a ritual. Now, I don't have anything that's going to let me draw anything neat, so I could just start moving a servant. Here's the problem. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I'm down to 5, I'll be discarding a card. So, although I could just move Swelter 3 spaces and go examine for stuff, it might be better for me to put a token on Swelter, taking control, and then, and yeah, people wouldn't be picking up and dropping things at weird places. Take control, wait, take control of the character, place one of your influence star if the character is controlled by another terror. Yeah, that's not interesting. Okay, so I had another thing that could have done that. Hold on. You gotta read these damn things. Yeah, why don't I do this instead? I'll play this to get my token on him. Because this gives me 3 movement. This only gives 2. I'll play this to move, though. 1, 2, up to there. Pool of carp. Which direction do I want to go in? This one looks better. We pull a token. It's the raven. Didn't I want the raven? I'm in there. That was 1, 2. Third move, I'm going to pick up those birds. Okay. Now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the stone lanes. I have not found them yet. I am at 3, 4 cards, which means I can draw 3 more cards with no problem. Sounds good. Alright, I'm going to break for a little bit because this is fatiguing to do. Okay, so let's see if I can figure out what I'm up to here. Irma is holding, illegally it turns out. Oh, she's holding the lantern. She wants the book of poetry, which... wow. Well, she's exactly where she wants to be. I don't know who did that to her, but that's pretty cool. And then the other one is Irma in the great dining room, which doesn't appear to be here with cats. You'd think you could find some cats in the Chamber of Cats, but no! Okay. So what do I want to do? Let's play legally this time. Backways allows me to move to any adjacent board square. Now, what it doesn't say is whether diagonally adjacent. I'm going to say no. Grab a couple of plot cards. That's really potent. I may want that. Move a character from marble to any other marble. Where are we trying to end up? The common room. I'm near that. I'm near the book. I just need some movement. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 movement. But I don't want to get rid of this. I don't know, maybe. One uncontrolled character, but she's controlled, so I can't do that. Dirty dealing. That gives me a lot of movement. So, let's do that. 1, 2. I'm going to drop the lantern here, actually. 2, 3. And now I need one more move to get to the first I'm going to draw. That'll use up so many cards. Gosh darned it. Oh boy. So I have a couple of one movement cards. And the point is, I can't tell which of these is better. Moving an uncontrolled character can be very, very powerful. We've seen that in play. But I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I expend 1 for my move, right? That gets me to 5. 1 for the plot. That gets me down to a 4. That's where I want to be when I'm drawing 3. Drawing 2 more plot cards would allow me to, move on to my next 3 points or whatever pretty quickly. I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to make my decision here. So this looks but 2 control markers. Ugh. All right, I'm going to spend 1 to move Irma into here. I'm going to play the school romance. She doesn't have to give up the book. And we get 3 victory points. And unfortunately, the victory point markers look similar enough to the control markers that's going to be a little painful, especially for the blue player. Might not want to play blue ever in the game because of that. What am I going to draw? Well, it doesn't say whether or not, I have to make my choices, so I'm going to assume I can choose as I go. So I'm going to draw one of these. Flay Armory Ceremonial Axe. That, I think, is all on the board, isn't it? Flay is not on the board. Ugh. Let's draw a second one. Prune Squalor, Tower of Flints. Okay, is Dr. Prune Squalor on the board? He is not. So I can't possibly score that one. I mean, I have a card to pull 2 more. See, here's the problem. Your plot cards, you have no way of getting rid of these either but by fulfilling them. So getting a whole handful of plot cards isn't very good. But if I don't have one that I can fulfill, I'm not in good shape. And the dining room is not on the board. Now, I could go exploring with Irma. But let's draw... I really don't want another one. Let's draw a card. Okay, this gives me a lot of movement. And it lets me take an artifact from another player. Now, players don't have artifacts. Place it on one character you control or place it on the location of the character from whom you took it. So, I guess it's from another character, not from another player. But, again, the game, any kind of attempt at being, very explicit has been left out of the game. That puts me here. Okay, what is this player up to? Clarice and Cora Angel's butt. I know the Angel's Buttress is around here, isn't it? Jesus. There it is. With the ravens, and I don't... The ravens are somewhere. Again, so the cook is carrying them around. It's really hard to... Not only was the game not well polished in terms of the rules, I get the feeling these kind of issues would have come up with playtesting if reasonable mock-ups of the components were in play with new players. And like so many games, that clearly has not been done. You almost get the feeling that, I don't know, what company is this? This is real, isn't it? I mean, it looks like a real box. Sophisticated Games. I got no idea, man. Never heard of them. But whatever. You get the feeling that this almost looks like a vanity project that someone insisted on putting out under their own label or something. And it may be just a Kickstarter or something. And that's one of the problems with this model. The gatekeeper model of like a publisher saying, yeah, you know, you got a good game here, that's cool. As opposed to the, can I get people to send me money? I'm going to show them examples. I'll show them samples of play. I'll show them what it looks like. But I'm not going to put it through the rigors of a real development cycle. Okay, so everything exists for this one. That's interesting. Lady Groan Pavilion's Letter. I don't think there's a letter in the game. That doesn't necessarily make it bad, though. Nanny Slag, the schoolroom with the hot water bottle. We're already set up on that, but we didn't make it where we wanted to, did we? We are now somewhere we didn't want to be, all the way over here. But we can probably make it. And she's holding the hot water bottle. And again, you know, if you're playing this as it's meant to be played, as a light social game, you probably can keep track of what you're working on at least. You may miss some things that you want to look for, but whatever. Okay, so what do we got? No one uncontrolled here. Secret Path. Woodboard squared to another woodboard squared. If I can get up to the library, that might save me a nice move. Unlock a location, that can be very important, I think. Move a character you control from one marble. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a move to get into the library. I'm going to take the secret path to go to the schoolroom. And I am going to fire off this misdirection. Since I have everything present, I get 3 victory points. Yep, thought so. And now we have a couple of players who are sitting at 3. Now, what about my other cards? I don't have a whole lot. Lady Groan Pavilion's Letter. If Lady Groan is really close to the pavilions, but it's quite a walk. And Clarice and Cora, the Angel's Buttress, and the Ravens. I spend the Hollow Promises for its special ability. 1, 2, 3. Move the cook there. And I am going to... Oh, that's not an uncontrolled character. Damn it. Back he goes. Now, I'm reading uncontrolled as no one controls. Again, that may not be what they mean. Right? It could just be one that you don't control. A lot of stuff that could have been filled in here. But I'm taking it at its strictest term. So I'm going to hold my cards in that case. And I am going to draw nothing but purples because I have a goal in mind for one that I can fulfill. Oh, God. Okay, I've got a ritual. All right, I don't think I have any interrupts. Trying to deal with the multiple players with sort of what's supposed to be a quick-paced card play game is not easy. I usually don't do these because of that factor. It's like after I go through a circuit of them, I am so fatigued that like I walk away, and that means I forget whatever there is to remember. Not that I don't walk away anyway. Okay. So Flay, Hollow Halls, Antique Sword, no. Barkentine, Bright Carvings. Okay, does Barkentine has the Bright Carvings? He's not in control of anyone, and he's trying to get to the Hall of Bright Carvings, which should be easy enough. So it looks to me like we have some victory points. We have like no cards. I think I forgot to draw. So I'll grab him 3 more cards. 5, 6, 7. That looks like what I wanted. Unblock a location. Theft. Take 1 artifact from another player. Play dead. Okay. All right, let's start firing off rituals. I have the ignore a ritual, so I've got some defense against it. 16. And Ritual of the Blood. Move 1 servant of your choice to the Blackstone Quarter. Okay? Where is the Blackstone Quarter? Is it in the game yet? I believe it is. There it is. Now, I don't want to move Barkentine there. Somebody's been being screwed around with. Irma, she just scored. Nanny Slag just scored. I don't see another servant that I necessarily want it to move. Do I have any interest? Not really. I really don't know. This could be anyone. Let's move Slag there. That makes things a little harder to deal with. And that means I can fire another ritual. Oh, does the person owning Slag care? I don't know, you know. Maybe they have an interrupt and they can do that, but chances are they're not paying attention. Yeah, this level of interactivity is dangerous for my style of play. Traditional observance of the sacred pool. Move 1 noble to the pool of carp. I think the pool of carp is in the game, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah. It's hiding over there. Okay. So who's noble? Who's doing something? The cook is not noble. Wow, wait a minute. Nanny Slag is not the one I'm moving there. I'm moving the cook to the Blackstone Quarter. I didn't realize he's sitting on something up there. He's got a control marker for the green player. I didn't want to do that. Okay, but in this case, we've got this ritual, which is a noble to the pool of carp. There are no... I got confused because I've got them up with my nobles, but... is there a noble that anybody cares about? Not terribly. Let's throw the twins back there. Okay. So we've gotten rid of a couple of our crappy cards. Now we got to move Barkentine 2 spaces. And I'm going to use this to move him there. The Curry Favor. Is it gone then? In exchange for 3 victory points. And now I get a bunch of cards. I don't have anything for this, so I'm going to draw one of these. Nanny Slag. Carver's Courtyard. That's not in play yet. Let's try another one. Is Slag? Slag is not near an exit where I could go exploring either. So let's try drawing a second one. Lady Fuchsia, Nursery, and Letter. That's all garbage. All right, I'm going to draw a purple. Then, and I get a bonus ritual. Great. Well, that's not good. All right. I need to pause before I do the last player in this round. And I'll take an actual break. Whoever moved Swelter, it didn't matter much. He wants to find the stone lanes. That's not on the board as far as I know. If it is, we're going to have trouble because I'll start searching for it. So he's going to want to start building the board out, which means movement points. I have Swelter under control. This is the only thing I can work towards. So let's look at our cards. We have an ignore ritual, ignore ritual. Why don't we use one of these? I could go this way or this way. They're about equal. So I'll go the way that will make less of a mess in terms of having to move the board. And you can see this is going to be problematic. Any kind of growing board game can be difficult because you end up adding in directions that you're not counting on. You may have to shift the whole board. It's often better to just play on the ground. So I've got 3 movement. 1, 2, I'm going in there. I draw something. It's the rookery. Now, no matter what, this can be placed. It has to be placed in such a way that it fits in the location, like that I could enter through the movement that I had, but it doesn't have to align with others. And one of these shows up. It's the letter. A lot of people were interested in the letter. I have one more move. We'll go out this way, mainly because the stables is a dead end. And I find the Carver's Courtyard. Looks like it has 3 entrances. Do it this way, I guess. And we have found the Wicked Cleaver. Okay, I am down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Well, it's time to keep looking. This could take someone, if someone put a lot of points on a single character, this could take those points off them. But that's, any controlled character. So that's beginning to sound like it means controlled by anyone. So yeah, let's play this one, and we'll go up here, and we find the nursery. What am I looking for again? I'm looking for the stone lanes. I get a blank. I got one more move. I'll go out here. I find the Prune Squaller's house. Let's put it this way. And I'm just looking for I found a cat. I'm just looking for a location. So now I'm down to 2, 3, 4, 5. If I play a ritual, maybe something will happen. 16. Have we had that one before? Again, the rituals. Move 1 servant to the Blackstone Quarter. Okay, well, I don't want to go to the Blackstone Quarter again. Who would I want to shift there? I don't really have anyone I'm terribly interested. Barkentine. Did he score? I don't know who controls Barkentine. Nobody controls Barkentine. I put a point on him. Somebody did. Fuck. Oh boy. I think it was the last guy. I think it was yellow because he doesn't. Nobody. Yellow's not on anybody. But yeah, I spent one to move him and moved him there. So okay, I think he already scored his points though for the bright carvings. But let's move him to the Blackstone Quarter. Although that kind of, you don't know whether you're helping or hurting someone when you do this, because you might be moving them towards something they need to move to anyway. You might be taking them away from an exploration that was very easy. It's hard to tell. That gets me to 4 cards, so I want to go down to 3. I'll draw another one of these. Flay Silent Hall's Mice. Doesn't sound useful. Let's draw 2 movement cards. And fill him out. And so far he's only got 1 point. Everybody else has pulled 3 and across things. And now we're up here. I should know better. I was trying to figure out, well, what can I do here that's not going to take me reading a lot of rules after I finish this, because this is going to be done soon. And I don't want to move on to another 18XX, or I don't particularly want to do another Euro. So I start looking on my thumbs list. And, you know, most of the stuff that's really big is either parts of series that I've already played something on, or, you know, a fair amount usually, or something pretty complex, or something huge. I'm kind of like, not really in the mood for that. And when I finally got down to something I was willing to try, it was an old S&T game from the 90s. I pull it up, and it's got like 10 pages of errata, and is more complicated than I expected it to be. So I'm just going with something at least that I've played that's complicated and unappealing. All right, let's move on to another round of this. Okay, what do we got here? We got Irma, Great Dining Room, and Cats. Do we have the dining room yet? I don't think we found the dining room yet. But we have cats now. There's a cat. Okay, Axework, Flay, Armory, Ceremonial Axe, Prune Squalor, Tower of Flint's Pony. Well, that sounds promising. I'm right here at the pony. I'm ready to rock. How did I get him there? I don't know. I don't own him. Do I? That's not Prune Squalor. No! Prune Squalor is not on the board. That's Nanny Slag. Yeah, so I can't play him because I don't have him on the board. And here's the thing. It's really hard to find someone because you have to open up new things and get the exact chip. You could say, well, it's just as hard to find a room. Yeah, I guess. It's hard to tell. So I don't feel like I have many options here at all. I have the Irma, Prune Squalor, Great Dining Room, and Cats. All right, well, do we have anything that lets us... We could grab a couple of plot cards, and then if we don't have anything, we're forced to discard, which kind of gets our hand down, sort of, I guess. I don't know. But let's see if we can get anywhere useful with this. We have Irma, all right? We own her. We could move from marble to marble. It's not going to help us because we got to get the cats and then we got to explore. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 movement. That's all we have. I think I'm going to play this and grab a couple of plot cards. That's going to be possibly my whole turn. Okay. Barkentine, Pool of Carp, Ritual Dagger. We have all of that except maybe the dagger. And now we search everywhere to see... Oh, there's the antique sword. Wow. I think Flay needed that. I do not see the ritual dagger. Where are we? Okay, so that's this one. That's can't be worked with. Prune Squalor Stables Antique Sword. Great. Okay, well, this isn't looking good. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plot cards and 3 of these. If I do nothing, I discard a plot card. That doesn't really help me. So I'm going to move Irma, I guess, 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up a cat. We'll drop this book over. We'll drop the book here. What did I say? So that's 5. So now I can go to 6. I'll go here. And I find the stone lanes. Now, the problem with this is it can't be placed so that it connects both, or... I don't think these are doors. God, this is hard to tell. I think these are walls. So this becomes kind of a dead end. And we found Mr. Flay. All of this was played. Okay, we bring somebody on the board. And what do we want to do? Well, now that we have Flay, there are things we might want to do, but we don't have many cards. 2, 3, we don't have any action cards. 4, 5. I can draw 3 of these. I think I want to. Let me check. I had a Flay card too. Flay Armory Ceremonial Axe. I think that's all in play somewhere and not that far apart. So I am going to say that I want all these cards. And now I look at these. Unblock a location, that's not very useful. Steal an artifact from someone, remove influence from someone. So basically I just have a pile of movement. I have to get rid of a card. I have 8. I have to get rid of 1. I'm going to get rid of the Barkentine card because the Ritual Dagger's not around. Now, I could have run him up there and scored a point, which might have been a good move. Maybe I want to get rid of Prune Squalor cards instead. Let's see. What do we got here? We got Stables Antique Sword, Tower of Flint's Pony. Tower of Flint's Pony is really easy. Stables Antique Sword looks hard to manage. See, I could get lucky. I could fire this one off, which is actually a better situation. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one instead. And, you know, I feel like, and maybe it's again because I'm walking away rather than sitting here just trying to figure out my turn while other people are doing stuff. But to me, this is primarily a sociable game. Right? It's not one where there's a whole lot to do. It's just there's this optimization of paths, etc., of choices over the cards that you're holding. And there's a little bit of capability to do nasty shit to each other. A fair amount, actually. But it's like a CDG. I have to, you know, examine every card and every possible decision, and I find myself spending a lot of effort on each choice where I wouldn't in real play. Again, it's the cost of interactive. Ladies Clarice and Cora, Angels, Buttress, and Ravens. Okay, nobody controls them, but they're on the board. The Ravens are somewhere. Really hard to find any pieces in this game. Does the cook still have them? The cook still has the Ravens. And the Angel's Buttress is down here. Lady Groan, who is on the board apparently. Oh, nobody's touched her. Over there, at the pavilions with the letter. Okay, so the letter's here. The pavilion is quite far away, though. However, this is the hand I have. I'm going to fire things off by doing a ritual first, because that randomizes stuff. Who knows what might come from that? 5. Now, if you have a good plan, you don't want to do a ritual first usually, because it could mess up your plans. Ritual breakfast. Move 2 characters of your choice to the Great Hall. Oh, so this is interesting. There was a great dining room or something. I don't know. If this tile is not in play, do. Okay, where's the Great Hall? It's over here. Does that help me? I mean, this could be a huge bonus. Grown Pavilion and letter. If I had grabbed the letter, Clarice, Angel's Buttress. So this is problematic. Because I would love to have known that that was coming, you know, and been halfway through my turn. And that's something to realize. Look, she could have grabbed the letter and then hoped for something off the ritual, but, and it's any 2 characters, right? Yeah. Oh, geez. Who are people moving around? What are people up to? It's hard to tell. It's hard to remember who scored points off of somebody. That's the real problem. And again, if I was right in it playing, I would have more of that awareness. But doing it this way, these interactive games just do not work well solo comparatively. Oh. This is for stealing characters. That's pretty powerful. Marble to any other marble. What am I looking for? Lady Grown Pavilion letters. And she could be in the Great Hall, which is marble. The letter is not there. The Angel's Buttress and the Ravens. I can't steal an item. That's a problem. I could move an uncontrolled character. Notably, nope, he's controlled. Just not by me. Fuck. I'm just ending up in the wrong place. So I'm going to pull people who I think are far away from the Great Hall into it with that ritual. And now let's see. I need 3 movement for Lady Grown. It's not pleasant. Here's 3 movement for Lady Grown. 1, 2. And she'll pick that up. I don't own her yet, but she can do that. Okay. Now, I have 4 movement and a secret passage for her. And remember, I have to blow all my, I have to play a complete card at once. So if I do, I couldn't do like a partial move and get somewhere. I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 3 more cards, so I want to spend at least 1. I'm going to put 2 pips on her. And that is it. And I get 3 more cards. I have a goal in mind, so I'll draw these. Okay. I need a break. reason, and this sucks. Maybe I want it and interrupt, and again, they're face down, I forget about them, I leave them face up. I don't know how much that helps, because I can't really remember everything very well. It would be really easy. I would probably remember these things in an opposed play, which is different from a lot of the interactive games where I'm like, oh geez, there's still much going on. I wouldn't remember that I have an interrupt to play. But here I think I would. So Fuchsia Nursery Letter. The letter is in somebody's hands now. It's over in the fat lady's hands. Nanny Slag, Carver's Courtyard. Okay, Carver's Courtyard is on the board now. Where did the carvings go? Who's got them? It looks like Barkentine may have them. It's hard to see. Yep. And Flay, Hollow Hills, which isn't on the board yet, and the Antique Sword, which I think is that, but I can't really read. Gosh. This card cannot be discarded. That's that. Theft. Take an artifact from another player, place it on one character you control, or place it on the location from the character you took it. That's going to be very helpful, because I could use the letter or the bright carving. So, Nanny Slag wanting to go to the Carver's Corner, that's a long walk. And Lady Fuchsia wanting to go to the nursery. I don't know if the nursery's on the board yet. Yeah, and that's fairly far away. Well, that all sucks. Do I own either of them? I own Barkentine, who has the bright carving already. Which means I would have to be moving him to drop it, though. I can't just hand it off. As far as I know. Again, not handled in the rules very specifically. So, what do we do? Well, let's get Slag moving. Let's do a ritual first. Yeah, we got in trouble last time. 8. And now we one-handed try to, because I'm holding the camera. Ceremony of the Ravens. Move one noble to the rookery. And that's all. So far we don't have a block yet. I'm interested. I was expecting to see some. Move a character to the rookery. I don't know if I could... Here's something that's not clear. Maybe I can pull characters off the board that aren't on the board yet and move them into these places. Dunno. Move a character to the rookery. Well, who wants to go to the Carver? Nanny Slag does. But more interesting, Fuchsia wants to go to the nursery with the letter. Let's move Fuchsia there. Let's steal Lady Groan's card. Now, Fuchsia... I gotta own the character. Shit. I don't have a card that helps me with that. So I have 5 cards. I don't have anything that can get me control of character. I own Barkentine. I can move Barkentine. I want to keep this. That looks useful. So if I move Barkentine 2 spaces, I'm getting him closer to Slag with the card she wants. I have a fairly good combination, except I don't have any purple cards that I want to use. So I don't have any that give me control of characters, so let's grab some of these. And I don't have anything that I need to keep face up as an interrupt. Let's see if I have any interrupts here. Let's see if I have any interrupts here, because this has been a problem, is not knowing. Nope. Okay. All right, one more character player. Flay the Silent Hall's mice. We have mice somewhere. Most of the game is spent looking for shit. I'm pretty sure nobody's carrying the mice, but they might. Here they are. Okay. Silent Halls, and again, they're over there because the map, is randomly created. You won't remember where things are necessarily, even through multiple plays. Swelter, Stone Lanes, and the Ravens. Where'd the Ravens end up? Swelter's carrying them. Okay, we need the Stone Lanes. Where the hell are those? Those are way over there, but maybe we can get there through some kind of magic. Well, we have a lot of movement points. Maybe enough to get there. We don't have a lot of victory points. We don't have any special movement. Unfortunately, Swelter's not a noble. If he was, we could fire him quite far. Ooh, this could be useful. Start moving. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Okay, no. I had the wrong card in mind. 1, 2, 3. Now all I need is a 1. And honestly, with a couple of these, I might as well play one because Flay is not noble. So I have no clear use for that. And now I'm going to play the 4 and 20 Ravens. I hope I still have the Ravens on me. I'm the guy who controlled him, so that was legal. So that's 3 victory points here. What do I want to draw? Flay Silent Hall mice. Everything exists. So I think I'm going to draw 3 movement cards, or 3 action cards, in the hope of being able to accomplish that somehow. Because it's the... Okay, Flay is not controlled yet, so that is possible. Move 1 character you control from 1 stone board square to any other unblock location. Okay, so yeah, I think we're there. And I am going to call it the end for this video. I have no idea how long the video is. It says 8:35. That's the 8 minutes that I've been playing it on. I'll hit end on this and we'll see if it tells me anything, but I don't think it does. Okay, one thing it does tell me is 4:37, which may mean that, like other ones, which always told me this information, it's very briefly telling me how much time I have, 4 hours and a half left on the video. I've seen, I think my other camera used to do this. It would give me some value, and when it went down to a certain level, I knew where I was, I think, I'm not absolutely certain. I got very used to it, but it presented it a different kind of numerical value, like 9999 or something, and worked its way down. I don't know. We shall see whether or not, when I start from empty, I can start recognizing the amount of time that I have. But as of right now, I'm still shooting in the dark, trying to figure out how long a video is going to be before I load it up. So, pretty sure this isn't a 4-hour one like I did for 1824.